What is up, my friends, and welcome to a special edition of the XFL OG XFL Week in Review, the longest running XFL podcast of all time. I'm your host, Mark Perry, editor of XFL News Hub, your alt football media guru. This is episode 200. That's right, 200 episodes, and this one is a super special episode because we are celebrating the XFL completion of a season. We have a championship game right around the corner, but we thought we would have our 2023 XFL News Hub Award Show. So if you like football, then like and subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell to get alerted of all news and breaking news coming out. But this show is special. Not only is it our 200th episode, it is our 2023 XFL News Hub Award Show, where we celebrate the top players, coaches, and team personnel in the XFL. I am dressed up. I will be your MC for tonight's show, leading the way, and you'll have announcements from our XFL News Hub writers. Now, all of this stuff was voted on by XFL News Hub writers. We had a list we came out with. Anthony Miller came out with the big list of all the nominees, and now we get to the finalists who win the awards. And they will be getting awards, real physical awards from your pals at XFL News Hub. But with that, when you start a show, you got to have a little opening monologue, right? A little roasting, a little monologue. First of all, I'm very thankful that the season is completed. We started this in 2018. This website has grown with staff, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of trying times at times, but I'm thankful that we're here. And, some people ask, why did The Rock buy the XFL? Yeah, it's a cheap segue. Because he smelled what the league was cooking. Yeah, all right there. So anyways, what's the difference between the Vegas Vipers Stadium and a high school football field? Not much, but at least the high school football field has better seating. Boom! Yeah, there you go. All right. That was a little bit better. How about this one? What do XFL jerseys and a bad blind date have in common? Both leave you wondering, what were they thinking? Boom on that one as well. All right, that's pretty good. Finally, I'll leave you with this one. What's the difference between the XFL in 2020 and the XFL in 2023? It's very simple. In 2020, they had to tackle COVID-19, and in 2023, they finally get to tackle each other. All right. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. So we got a great show for you. So really, without further ado, we have all these different awards. Now, these are awards that are voted by the XFL News Hub writers. Just to give you an idea of some of the awards, we got Director of Player Personnel of the Year Award, Coach of the Year, Special Teams Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, MVP, and our special award, our Josh Davis Underdog Award. We have that also. Josh Davis was a writer for us a couple years ago, and he passed away suddenly. And so we always think about him, especially during this season, at the beginning of the season and even at the end. So we've got a special award in his honor as well. All right, my friends, let's have some fun, all right? I'm all dressed up. I don't get dressed up like this very often. So without further ado, let's just get into the first awards.
Hey there, Mike Mitchell here. Congratulations to Von Hutchins on being voted on as DPP of the Year by XFLNewsHub.com. A well-deserved honor. In a league filled with quality veteran personnel executives, Von Hutchins stood out from the pack, not only because he put together a very talented DC Defenders roster, but most importantly, because he put together a roster that catered to his coach's needs and schemes. And that's not an easy thing to do. So I know he doesn't want the credit, and that's part of the reason why he was so successful this season, is because he put together a team for the collective rather than for himself. And in the end, the DC Defenders are going to a championship game because of their collaborative effort. So congratulations to Von Hutchins. It's great to see a former NFL player and an NFL personnel guy get an opportunity to build a team from scratch and to do it in such a manner where he is very successful. So congrats.
And it is my turn to announce, envelope please, who is the Coach of the Year voted by us at XFL News Hub. And I'm going to open this up. And who is it? None other than America's team's coach, your DC Defenders head coach, Reggie Barlow, came in, HBCU coach, came into the league. People were like, well, we know Bob Stoops, and we know, some of Anthony Beck, and we know Hines Ward, but who is this Reggie Barlow guy? He just happens to be the guy that led the team to a 9-1 record and are in the championship game, lock and loaded. The Beer Snake is back. DC is learning how to win football games again. And, just on a personal note, got a chance to meet Coach Barlow a couple times. Great guy, gracious guy. I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for the DC Defenders team. So congratulations to Reggie Barlow as the XFL News Hub Coach of the Year for 2023.
All right, the 2023 XFL News Hub Defensive Player of the Year award goes to Trent Harris, linebacker of the Houston Roughnecks, 2023 XFL sack leader with 9.5 sacks, and tied for the league lead in tackles for loss with 12. Congratulations, Trent. Love you, man. It was an honor watching you this year, and can't wait for you to go tear it up in the NFL. Go Roughnecks.
Congratulations to Special Teams Player of the Year, John Parker Romo, kicker, San Antonio Brahmas, a Hokie. Romo finished the season converting 17 of 19 field goals, which was good for 89% of his field goals, which were good. His longest field goal of the season was a 57-yarder against the Seattle Sea Dragons, a Lumens field record, by the way, and was the longest at the time until Donnie Hegman converted a 59-yard field goal for the St. Louis Battlehawks. So congratulations to a Hokie out there. Always love to give an award to a Hokie. John Parker Romo as special teams player, basically an automatic and the top kicker in the XFL in 2023. Congratulations.
Hey y'all, Matt Lyons here to announce the XFL News Hub Offensive Player of the Year award for the 2023 XFL season. Now this player was super fun to watch all year long, and even in an extremely talented wide receiver room, he stood out in the best possible way. Without further ado, let's give it up for Seattle Sea Dragons wide receiver Ja'Cour Pearson. Let's go Peasy, congrats.
Congratulations to the XFL News Hub 2023 Josh Davis Underdog Award winner. This award had to go to Quentin Dormady, who has overcome unrivaled adversity this season after being accused of cheating and then ultimately returning to the Orlando Guardians and becoming the unquestioned quarterback one for the rest of the season. He passed for over 1,500 yards, completed over 68% of his passes, scored 14 times with only 5 interceptions.
All right, everyone, I'm here to announce the MVP voted on by the XFL News Hub staff writers. So the winner of the MVP is going to be St. Louis Battlehawks quarterback A.J. McCarron. He led the league in touchdown passes and completion percentage. He was second in the league in passing yards. He was everything that St. Louis Battlehawks offense needed and that team needed. Great story behind him with wanting his kids to watch him play football, and now he has been named the league MVP for our website.
All right, now it's a special time in the program when we get into Mike Mitchell's All XFL team. That's right. As the 2023 season is nearly over, the XFL is about to crown a championship on Saturday, May 13th, when the DC Defenders and Arlington Renegades square off at the Alamo Dome. But it's our chance, our superstar writer, Mike Mitchell, to give some props to the best players in the XFL who stood out. And here is his list for the All XFL 2023 team. 30 players receiving the honor, along with some of the league's best coaches and employees. On offense, A.J. McCarron, no doubt, St. Louis Battlehawks, 2,150 yards, 68.8% completion percentage, 24 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. He is the top quarterback. Honorable mentions, Jordan Tamu, the DC Defenders, and Ben DiNucci, the Seattle Sea Dragons. Abram Smith, DC Defenders, running back, 790 yards, 5 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns. He had that massive game that really helped those stats. Jaquez Patrick of the Brahmas, Brian Hill of the Battlehawks, Max Borghi of the Roughnecks, and Devon Smith of the Arlington Renegades all get honorable mentions. At wide receivers, there is a ton of great wide receivers in the XFL. Ja'Cour Pearson, 60 receptions, 670 yards, 4 touchdowns. Hakeem Butler, 51 receptions, 599 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Darius Shepard, 48 receptions, 519 yards. Shepard and Butler were with the Battlehawks, Pearson with the Seattle Sea Dragons, and Lucky Jackson, DC Defenders, 36 receptions, 573 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Honorable mentions go to Chris Blair of the DC Defenders, Josh Gordon, Seattle Sea Dragons, Juwan Green, the Sea Dragons, Jeff Badette, Vegas Vipers, Blake Jackson, the Sea Dragons, and Jontre Kirkland of the Houston Roughnecks, though he did get injured but was a really force at the beginning of the season. Tight end goes to Cody Latimer, Orlando Guardians, 50 receptions, 593 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Honorable mention, Sal Cannella, the Arlington Renegades. Offensive line, Michael Maietti, DC Defenders, 85.7 PFF grade, allowed 0 sacks and only 3 pressures. Liam Forndale, DC Defenders, he had a 75.9 PFF overall rating. Second highest run blocking guard among all guards, only 1 sack allowed on 326 pass block snaps. Guard Jack Snyder, Houston Roughnecks, 83.4 PFF pass blocking grade. Tackle Colin Kelly, Seattle Sea Dragons, helped anchor that one of the best passing games in the league. And tackle Kyle Murphy of the DC Defenders solidified the blind side of the team. It was tied with the fewest sacks allowed and they led the league in rushing in the XFL. Honorable mentions, center Max Millette of the Houston Roughnecks, guard Darian Parker of the Roughnecks, Liam Ryan of the Defenders, tackle DeMarcus Hayes of the Defenders, tackle Barry Wesley of the Sea Dragons, guard Mike Horton, Arlington Renegades, and center Jared Thompson of the Seattle Sea Dragons. There is your offense. On the defensive line, defensive end Trent Harris, Houston Roughnecks, league leader with sacks. Defensive end Delonte Scott, San Antonio Brahmas, tied for second in the league with 7.5 sacks and 11 tackles for a loss. Highest graded pass rusher by PFF at 90.7. Edge Pita Tuapenu, tied for second in the league with 7.5 sacks. And TJ Barnes, Pita played for the Vipers. TJ Barnes, highest graded interior defender by PFF, 89.0. And then defensive tackle Tomasao Luele, stout defender who is part of the league's top rushing defense, 78.8 PFF grade. Other honorable mentions, Drew Beasley, Brahmas, Tazar Skipper, Sea Dragons, Davin Bellamy, defenders, edge rushers, Travis Feeney, the Battlehawks, edge was Tim Ward, Roughnecks, defensive end, John Daka of the Roughnecks, defensive line, Nick Lalos, Sea Dragons, DL, Kevin Atkins of the Battlehawks, defensive line, Trevor Mason of the Roughnecks, defensive line, CJ Brewer of the Roughnecks, and Jack Helfin of the Houston Roughnecks. So big defensive line there. So a bunch of honorable mentions. Linebacker core, Jordan Williams, San Antonio Brahmas, league leader in tackles, 89, tied first for tackles for a loss with 12. Donald Payne, Arlington Renegades, helped lead one of the top defenses. Tavante Beckett of the Houston Roughnecks, XFL's top coverage linebacker, 81.6 PFF grade. And Terrence Plummer of Orlando Guardians, ranked first amongst all linebackers with a PFF grade of 84.3. Some honorable mentions, Carson Wells, Battlehawks, Francis Bernard of DC Defenders, Rico Jeffers, Brahmas, CJ Avery, the Vipers, Reggie Northrup, Defenders, Emmanuel Ellerby of the Roughnecks, and Willie Harvey of the St. Louis Battlehawks on your defeat DB, and cornerback Luke Barco, San Antonio Brahmas, league's top-rated cornerback by Pro Football Focus, 85.7, lead the position with 11 pass breakups. Michael Joseph, DC Defenders, 83.0 PFF grade. Finished the season with 4 interceptions and 2 touchdowns. Gene Harris, Houston Roughnecks, XFL leader with 5 interceptions. Deontay Anderson, Vegas Vipers, ranked third among safeties in run defense grade, 87.3, 52 tackles on the season. Quintero Cole, Seattle Sea Dragons, 82.5 overall PFF grade. Lowest missed tackle rate at 6.1. Honorable mention, Tenny Adesui, the Brahmas, Ryanthony Texada, the Brahmas, Juwan Neal, the Defenders, Ty Smith, the Guardians, Nate Meters, Battlehawks, Lucas Dennis, Battlehawks, Maurice Smith, Vipers, Joe Powell, Renegades, Josh Hawkins, Renegades, but he was also injured and was out for the season. On the special team side of thing, kicker John Parker Romo, 17 of 19 on field goals. Of course, he had the 57-yarder all-time Lumen Field record. Honorable mentions, Taylor Russolino and Dominic Eberle. Russolino on the Renegades and Eberle on the Sea Dragons. Punting, Brad Wigg, San Antonio Brahmas. The Brahmas have the nice special teams there. Led the league with 16 punts inside the 20, 47.8 average. Honorable mentions, Daniel Whelan, Defenders, Marquette King of the Renegades, and Mac Brown. Of course, Mac Brown threw some touchdowns. He's for the Guardians. Long snapper, Scott Fichler of the Sea Dragons. Honorable mentions to Rex Sundura of the Brahmas, Antonio Ortiz of the Renegades, and Brian Kudroy of the Roughnecks. And returner, Darius Shepard, St. Louis Battlehawks, league leader with 907 kick return yards, 24.7 yards for average, a long of 80. Honorable mention, Kelvin McKnight of the Sea Dragons and Fred Brown of the San Antonio Brahmas. Coach of the year, he's got Reggie Barlow, the DC Defenders. No question about that. Jim Haslett and Anthony Beck, Wade Phillips are his honorable mention on there. And the DTP of the year, he's got Von Hutchins, DC Defenders, put together a great team at 9-1. Honorable mentions, Randy Mueller of the Dragons, Dave Bowler of the Battlehawks, and Mark Lillybridge of the Houston Roughnecks. Assistant Coach of the Year, he's got Fred Cass, DC Defenders. Offensive Coordinator, honorable mentions, that is for offense and a defensive coordinator. Honorable mention, Fred Cass, of course, the DC Defenders. Supposedly simplistic offense, yet are 9-1. Some of the veteran coaches would be like, well, they don't run a very complicated offense. They win. Honorable mention, Greg Williams, DC Defenders. June Jones of Seattle. Ty Knott of the Sea Dragons. He's the special teams coordinator. Ricky Prohl, Battlehawks wide receivers coach. Jim Herman, San Antonio Brahmas defensive coordinator. Russ Innerfeld, Defenders offensive line coach. And Dennis McKnight, Dragons offensive line coach there. Social media team by Mike Mitchell. Leah Musgrave, St. Louis Battlehawks. Honorable mention, Seattle Sea Dragons, Haley Lynch. I guess the top social media teams here in the XFL, though there was a lot of talented people out there in the XFL. Especially, he points out the official statement about moving the Battlehawks on April Fools to Los Angeles was pretty dang funny for the season. So there you have it. Players, staff, personnel, the whole deal. Mike Mitchell's all XFL team for the 2023 season. Are you a fan of the XFL, USFL, and CFL football? Get ready to embrace your inner general manager with NewsHubFantasy.com's fantasy football experience. NewsHubFantasy.com offers you an unparalleled fantasy football platform bringing together fans of the XFL, USFL, and CFL football leagues. Compete in season-long fantasy with leagues up to 6 players. You can create your own for friends, or you can join an existing league. Draft your ideal team with our 7 active roster spots, including a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, flex, tight end, kicker, plus 3 bench spots. Show off your football knowledge and strategy and dominate your league. Our user-friendly interface makes it easy to manage with your team and get the latest news in your XFL or USFL or CFL leagues on the go. Plus, News Hub Fantasy offers mock drafts, pick'em games, and so much more all season long. So don't miss out on the action. Sign up now at newshubfantasy.com and become the ultimate football fantasy manager. All right, my friends, that is it. Wrapping up this week's show, a special show, clearly, on the XFL 2023 award ceremony. I hope you like it. It's a lot of fun. We're definitely getting out awards. There'll be physical awards that we're actually send to the players. That's coming soon. You'll get to see that. We needed to finalize that. But again, it has been a great season. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of work. Shout out goes to my wife for being so patient. She's come to every game that we've been to. Patience with, I thank 100% the staff at XFL News Hub, all the writers that participated, not only this year, but in our past. Everybody that helped build the site to what it is. It was a huge season, record-breaking numbers for XFL News Hub, and a lot to look forward to in the future as we kind of ride along with the XFL going into 2024 and beyond. So again, and I thank you. I thank you guys for supporting this program. Again, 200 episodes, not bad for a podcast and a website that basically had 15 games to cover. Now we've got a championship game. So again, thank you guys out there as well for being part of our little family here, our alt football family. And we've got more stuff coming. I'm telling you, down the pike, there is a lot of plans going on at XFL News Hub. So stay tuned all off season and as we crank it up into next season as well. So once again, thank you to all the writers and people that have worked on XFL News Hub, not only this year, but in past years. We couldn't have done it without you. I mean, it was just been this building thing. And of course, thank you, the fans, and thank you, Danny Garcia, The Rock, Redbird Capital Partners, Jerry Cardinal. Thank you for bringing back the XFL and giving opportunities not only to players and coaches and staff, but us little nerds, our little football nerds at XFL News Hub. So thank you once again. God bless as always, and I will see you all later.